Uh, Thank you, everybody, for coming. My name is Lee McCabe. I'm a communications director for the campaign. We have some guest speakers we'd like to bring up and say a few words before Joe says his piece. First up, I'd like to bring up City Councilman Eric Ulrich, who I was actually his campaign manager. So we're hoping to replicate the magic. I'd like to bring up City Councilman Eric Ulrich.
Thank you. Lightning strikes twice, right?
There you go.
I'm honored to be here. My name is Eric Ulrich. I am unfortunately, the only Republican elected official left in Queens County, and I'm hoping that that will not be the case for very long, which is why I'm here today to announce my support, my full support, for electing my friend Joe Concannon to the New York City Council. We desperately need people that have common sense on the City Council. The City Council these days is a crazy place with a lot of crazy ideas. And just today there was a story about using taxpayers' money to bail people out of jail. Over $1 million of the taxpayers' money. What an inappropriate use of the taxpayers' money. With all the problems in this city, with education, with crime, with housing, and all the issues that really need to be addressed, the fact that we're wasting time and precious resources on an issue like that, I think, is really a disservice to the people of the city of New York. But that's why I'm here to support Joe Concannon and people like Joe Concannon. People that don't come from political dynasties, people that the only interest that they're concerned with is the people's interest, not the special interests, not the lobbyists, not the power brokers, not to rub elbows with the people that need favors at the City Council, but people who are really committed to serving their communities and the constituents that they hope to represent. We need honest people in government. We need people that have common sense. We need people that understand what it means to balance a checkbook, to balance a budget. We need people like Joe with his experience being a former police captain who understand that public safety is our top priority, that if we don't keep this city the safest big city in America, that businesses will leave, jobs will leave, tax revenues will leave, people will leave, and the city will go into turmoil. There are not many people who understand that on the City Council right now, and that's why we need to elect Joe Concannon to the City Council. There's no doubt in my mind that he would do an outstanding job, that he would serve his constituents honorably, and that he would be an effective voice for middle-class homeowners and taxpayers, not only in his district here in Queens, but throughout the city of New York. And so I'm honored to be here to throw my support behind him. We'll be working day and night between now and Election Day to get him elected. And I know that there might be some people who say that he can't win, that it's a Democratic district, that he's running against big names and well-entrenched personalities. And they said the same thing about me 6 years ago. They said the same thing to Bob Turner when he ran for Congress. And both of us pulled off two amazing upsets, partly due to the great people who are behind us here that have stood behind our Republican conservative candidates. And I want to thank them as well, not only for what they're going to do for Joe, what they did for me and Turner, but ask them to go out there, knock on doors, work hard, get the message out there. The people in this community, they need Joe Concannon on the City Council, and that's why he's running, and that's why I'm here to support him. So thank you very much, Joe.
Thanks,
Thank
you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Next, we'd like to bring up Tom Long, who's the chairman of the Conservative Party here in Queens.
Thank you, Liam. I am here to give our support to Joe Concannon. Joe is a family man. Joe is a businessman. Joe was an officer of the New York City Police Department, rose to the rank of captain. Joe has been involved all his life. The people of this councilmanic district have a clear choice this year. They have a man like Joe or a hand-picked man from the Democratic machine who has been a party politician, I wouldn't use the word hack, but has been a party politician most of his adult life, if not all. It's a clear choice between Joe and the other guy. It was great. I support Joe. And Eric spoke about lightning. A little lightning would be great, but it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of people, like Eric said, ringing doorbells, talking to your friends and your neighbors. Get them out to vote. That's what's going to win this election. And with that, we are proud to support Joe Concannon for City Council.
And now to introduce the candidate, someone who really needs no introduction, that is the Queens Republican Chairman and Congressman Bob Turner, another person I was very happy to work on his campaign. Bob Turner.
There we go.
Thank you, Liam. I'm the new county chairman for the Republican Party, and my job is to help find the best candidates we can. Lo and behold, in the first 2 months of my term here, Joe Concannon comes forward to fill the job for City Council special election. What am I looking for? A person of integrity, a person who knows the issues, a person of energy, and not a hack politician. Joe will fit the bill in every way. I couldn't be happier and prouder of his effort to do this. He will have our support throughout Queens. We are in a time where we can really get behind this, and I'm anxious to do it and make our case. I think the City Council is not represented by the people that are in there now, that the people of Queens have no interest in being represented by Ms. Marco Viverito or the mayor. This is not a progressive agenda here. We're going to have our own agenda that represents the people of Queens, and the person to do it, I may add, and I'm honored to introduce, Joe Concannon.
Hey. Thanks, everybody. I certainly appreciate it, and I'm happy to be down here today and hopefully representing the people of Queens Village, Belrose, Hollis, Hollis Hills, New Hyde Park, Floral Park, Glen Oaks, Little Neck, parts of Douglaston, and certainly my own Belrose, and all the other areas that are connected within the district as well. This is going to be a great election. It's one that we are going to win, and I'm happy to be a part of it. Now, I will say this. I think it's somewhat irresponsible to leave a New York City Council seat vacant for 4 to 5 months without an elected official in it. There was a choice. They could have held a special election. They chose not to. All right, so now we're dealing with that. And I think the important thing, I'll echo what Bob said, Melissa Mark Viverito does not represent, or I should say, does not speak for the people of Eastern Queens. All right, that is an important thing for each of us to understand, especially considering some of the legislation that she has put forward in the last couple of weeks. And one of them, which the councilman has just touched upon, this $1.7 million for taxpayer money to use to give convicted criminals bail money. That is just something that's not within what a city councilman should be doing. I wanted to give you a little background about who I am. I'm a father. I'm the husband of a school teacher. I'm also a very, very, very proud grandfather. I've got 2 beautiful grandkids. I'm a veteran of the United States Air Force and NYPD. I've spent a lifetime in commitment to public safety and security, both in public service and in the private sector. I stood up here in the city of New York, and let me tell you, it was a very, very cold winter when our mayor was tearing our city police department to shreds. I stood up in each one of our boroughs and I said, support your local police. That is important today. That is as important today as it was when I first started that message, and we will continue there. I will say that I was shocked to learn, as many of you were, that the New York City Council selected members stood up in the chamber of New York City Hall and put their hands up and did themselves a die-in, is what I think they call it, a die-in session in the chambers of the New York City Council. That's the people's house. They're supposed to be representing all of the people of New York City, not just their own special interest. That's not a place for that to happen. I was very sad to hear that. I'm also a homeowner, and I'm the homeowner whose water bill was tripled. And where was the city council at that point standing up and defending all of our interests? when our water bills went through the roof.
Nowhere.
All right? Now, there's something they could sink their teeth into and make an issue out of. That's important for all of us. My candidacy, quite frankly, is about service and commitment to the people of the city of New York. It always has been. It has been about the preservation of our neighborhoods and the quality of life that each of us enjoy here and on this beautiful day here in Queens Village. This is the way we like it. That's why we live here. These are the tree-lined, sleepy streets of Queens, all right, where people go back and forth to work. They commute every day of the week via bus, train, and car. That's what the people of this district represent, not some other misguided thing that the city council is coming up with. Those are the issues for the people in this part of town. I am also the person who has served the people of the city of New York who have had their cars broken in, their car radios stolen, their car computers stolen, their rims and the tires of their cars ripped off. And I refer specifically to the people of Glen Oaks Village. They have been victimized over and over and over again. I'm the guy who got behind the people of Queens when they said, please don't put any more graffiti on our walls and doorways. I am the one in Forest Hills and in Central Queens who led that charge. And the people of Forest Hills were so happy, they awarded me the White Pot Award for all the work that I did in that area. So I understand what the issues are in this community and the adjoining communities for the people here in the city of New York and how important the preservation of our communities is. It's very important to me and very important to everyone else. I also wanted to mention something which is very sensitive, and that's domestic violence here in the city of New York. There is probably no one call that a police officer gets more often than domestic violence. A dispute between a loved one or a common law or some other relationship within a home, and a police officer gets about 2 minutes to do an interview in that regard and help those people out. All right? Those are the unsung heroes of our city, those police officers who enter those situations and try the best they can to keep those families together. That's what's important here in the city, to keep our families together, not to separate them into some other government program or some other ideal out there, but to try and work with each one of them. For the past 6 months, I have asked everyone, who speaks for us? Who speaks for you, Adam? Who speaks for you, Delvis? Who speaks for all of us? Well, I'm here today to take a stand at this microphone, at this podium, and say in Eastern Queens, I am Joseph Concannon, and I will speak for each of you. I will unify our communities and not seek to divide it. I will represent the constituents of the New York City Council District 23 above all others. I'm not going into Manhattan to adopt their priorities. I want the priorities of our community to be first. I will be an outspoken critic of the violators of our laws. And at the same time, I will be a champion of law and order here in New York City. It is just so important. My name is Joseph Concannon, and I support public safety, and I support our police. Recently at a civic meeting in Queens Village, I ran into a mom. We were at Our Lady of Lourdes, not too far down the block from here, and all of the candidates were there. And the mom, I can remember her right now, she was sitting off to my left, and she had 3 kids with her. And the importance of this is the quality of education and the dynamic of a mother and a father actually guiding their children through their homework. What is more wholesome, what is more American than just that image? That is what we need to see in each one of our communities. A mom who is so dedicated to her community and to her family, all right, that she brings them down to a civic meeting and she was literally working through the homework with them to make sure that they got it done. At the end of that civic meeting, I told that young man and that little girl, their opportunities in this city and in this country are limitless. They could take it wherever they want. They could be the next city councilman, the next governor, the next president of the United States if they were just determined and focused on their homework and for the rest of their lives. That is what this community is all about. It's about those individual people. Our city today is at a crossroads. Some years ago, when William Bratton first became the commissioner of the New York City Police Department, he talked about 3 things that were important for police officers all throughout the city of New York to focus on. And that was crime, disorder, and fear. Well, folks, we've got some news to report on that front. Under the past leadership here in New York City, we have enjoyed an incredible performance with the New York City Police Department and a reduction in all crime here in the city of New York. It isn't until recently that we have seen dramatic increases in shootings, shooting incidents, and murder here in the city of New York. Violence has returned to the streets of New York City. And this is something that we talk about in the police jargon about crime, disorder, and fear. When you put fear back into the people, when there's disorder in the streets of New York, and when crime starts to rise, that is a telltale sign that the trends for the city of New York are going the wrong way. My folks, I tell you today, this city is going in the wrong direction. We need a course correction, and a big course correction. Last week alone, we had 55 reported shootings here in the city of New York. We had 8 people that were fatally shot. We don't want to repeat that. That is not the New York City we want. That's Bill de Blasio's city. That may be Melissa Mark Vittorero's city. That is not our city. Our representatives in New York City government are out of touch. And like I said, we need a course correction. When I became a police officer, I vowed that I would fight the bad guys here in New York City. Well, now I'm going to the City Council, and I'm going to fight bad policy in the New York City Council.
Yeah! Yeah, Joe!
I'm running for the New York City Council, quite frankly, because my family, friends, and supporters around me are asking me to do it. They're asking me to get involved in this race, and I'm more than happy to oblige them. I think I am the right candidate with the right qualifications at the right time in this city. I think the New York City Council needs to be policed. I believe I will be the voice of sanity in a New York City Council that just passed a resolution to, quite frankly, give clemency or allow back into the country an FALN terrorist. Since when do we give sway to terrorists in the New York City Council? What is going on in those chambers? I ask each of you, what is going on? I believe my background and depth of experiences are perfect here for the city of New York. My vision is simple. Build schools. Let children expand their horizons, all right? And build great dreams. Let's tap into the youth of our city and for everything that they can do for the future of our city. That's what it's all about. Let's promote and celebrate the parents and families who stay together as a family unit and build our programs here in the city of New York to help families stay together. That's what we want to do. New York City should be open for business, but every business owner needs to be responsible, and so does the city of New York. Their regulation and tax codes need to be visible and transparent, and they need to have meaning behind them that addresses a safety issue or a consumer awareness issue, not just for the sake of collecting taxes here in the city of New York. I'm going to close with my remarks, and I'm going to say one thing which I know Eric has echoed, and so has the 2 chairmen that are here. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Yes. You show me a student, you show me a young man, a young woman with a good education and a job, and what I will show you is fewer people incarcerated, no backlogs in the courts, fewer discrepancies with police encounters, and a thriving New York economy. And that's what we want here in the city of New York. I want to thank Congressman Turner and Tom Long, all right, for supporting me through this race. It's not going to be easy. I'm going to need all of your support. We're going to need it from the financial side as well as feet on the street as well. That is important to me and for the people of this city. New York City is the greatest city on the face of the earth. I have had a unique opportunity to see it from many, many, many different vantage points. I have felt the pain, and quite frankly, I've been with people at some of their darkest hours here in this city. And I don't want to repeat that. I don't want any parent or anybody here in the city to ever have to repeat that again. I am the only candidate in this race who is a United States veteran. I am the only candidate in this race that is endorsed by two parties. I am encouraged, quite frankly, by the support that we're getting from Democrats as well as independents and other people that declare no party at all. And why, may you ask? Well, I'm enamored by that for the simple reason that public safety doesn't know a Democrat from a Republican. All people want to know is that they can get back and forth from home and to work without any incident. And that's why they're coming over to me, because they're concerned about what Bill de Blasio and this city council is doing. I'm ready to assume office on November 4th, and I thank everyone here for being here. All right? Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, I'll certainly take them. Carlos? Go.
Just for our Spanish-speaking audience, we have Carlos Santiago Cano, and he is the Latino National Republican Coalition leader here in Queens. He's going to give an endorsement and translate a little what he said in Spanish. Great. Thank you.
Buenas tardes. I'm going to speak in Spanish para todos nuestros votantes latinos. Estoy aquí hoy para darle nuestro apoyo a Joe Concannon para el consulado del Distrito 23. Joe es una persona que es más calificada para esta posición por su experiencia en el sector público, empezando con la Fuerza Aérea de los Estados Unidos y después con el Departamento de Policía de Nueva York. Joe ha estado toda su vida con el sector público y es una persona que está interesada en ayudar a su comunidad, en construir escuelas para nuestros estudiantes y asegurarnos de que tengamos una mejor educación para que nuestras calles puedan estar seguras y todas las familias de la comunidad puedan estar tranquilas de que su familia está en buenas manos. Joe es una persona que no es un político de carrera. Joe está más interesado en el bienestar de su familia, en el bienestar de los niños y en la seguridad de la comunidad. A nombre de la Coalición Latina Republicana de Queens, le damos su apoyo a Joe y esperamos que todos nuestros votantes latinos estén con nosotros y nos ayuden a elegirlos al consulado del Distrito 23. Gracias.
Gracias. Thank you, Carlos. Yeah, sure.
We also have a few special guests here. Frank Scatoro is here. Congressional candidate Grant Lally would also like to say a few words. So bring him up.
Good. I'm delighted to be here today to hear at the launch of what's going to be a winning campaign for Joe Concannon to be our next city councilman here in Eastern Queens. Joe has done so much for the community. He's given his life to public service. He's going to be a great, great city councilman, and I urge everyone to come out and support him because this is a winning campaign and we're going to see a great city councilman here for Northeast Queens. And thank you.
You know, I sometimes you neglect to acknowledge some of the people that help you the most. This city councilman has been on the phone with me on and off every single part of the day and night trying to give me some guidance here. Eric, thank you for your support and your friendship.
I want you to win.
Yeah, well, do you want me to win? Yeah! All right, we're working on it, Eric. All right, thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. Where is Liam? Liam?
Yes, sir.
Got anybody else?
Yeah, Heman Shah would like to come up and say a few words.
Okay, great.
Sure, thank you.
Good afternoon. Joe is a very good friend of ours. He's always been for the community. He's a retired New York City police captain. And on behalf of the Indian community and the South Asian community, I urge every one of you to please make sure to elect Joe Concannon. Yes. Very, very important. I will say it in Hindi. In Hindi, please. This is an appeal to the entire Indian community and the South Asian community. जो हमारा आदमी है उसको बिल्कुल इलेक्ट करके लाओ। सभी को मेरी नम्र विनती है, ऐसा आदमी आपको दूसरी बार भी नहीं मिलेगा। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
मेरा नाम हरीश कुमार सहानी है। I'm a proud Hindu. I know most of our Indian people are Democrats. I want them to change their position from Democrats to Republican and vote for Joe.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
My name is Narayan Kataria. I am president of Indian American Intellectual Forum. Most of the Indian people from India, they are working for Democratic Party, and we are fed up with them. We don't like their policies. We like Republican Party. We support Joe. So I will request all the Indian people living around in this neighborhood to vote for Joe.
Joe.
Thank you.
Joe, you're up.
That's a little Punjabi group. Just 1 minute. Okay. No. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Dolly. Just go ahead. Oh. Okay, let me hold this.
Hello.
Go ahead, Dolly.
I know Joe Concannon since like 1 year when he helped me to, when I had burglary at my home. So I proudly say, Joe Concannon is good for us, for all our community, and I want him to be in the city council.
And just for those of you in the media who know it, there are people in the South Asian community that we have reached out to because of Dolly, and they did not know how to go or how to engage the government here in New York City.
We need somebody,
And that's what we've been doing for the last 2 years with them, all right? And Dolly, it's been our privilege to do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
He's the man. He's the man who can do something for us,
Thank
for
you
our
very
community.
much.
Thank you.
All right, Liam, we good?
Yeah, sure. Does anybody have any questions? Or?
I want to make a statement.
Okay.
Come on up.
All right.
I look around, I can stay from here. I look around here.
Joe for New York. 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 Joe for New York.
I just want to make a statement. My name is Beulah Wilson. I've been living at my address since 1979. And you see, I was a registered Republican since 1986. But I never felt welcome or included. And you're the only person that made me come out here today because I think you're the right material for
This is what we have been doing. This is what we have been doing for the last 2 years. We have been reaching out to every community, no matter where they are, no matter where they live here in New York City, because New York City is a changing demographic, and there's a lot of different people who live here, all right? And each one of them needs to know that our Republican Party stands behind them, all right? We believe in strong families. We believe in strong work ethics. We believe in outstanding education for our children so that they can perform better in the years ahead. All right, I thank each and every one of you for coming down today. I thank all of our elected officials and Carlos as well, and all my supporters, and hopefully we can build this into tens of thousands of people as we proceed to take the seat in the 23rd Councilmatic District. Thank you, everybody. Get home safely.